This is a great question, and it's clear that this is the type of question that a number of students have simply because I'll tell you that this comes up every semester, that nearly every semester at least one student will ask for help with this question. So I hope that you find this video helpful. This question is coming from section 1.3, and it's the homework question that has to do with the insurance payment. And here's one example of the problem, though the problem you were assigned on My Math Lab might have different numbers. A certain medical insurance policy, the customer must first pay an annual deductible, and that deductible is $350. So I'm going to highlight that. And then the policy covers 60% of the cost for x-rays. Now, if you're familiar with insurance, you might understand that the first thing that the patient is required to pay is that full deductible. It's almost like the price you have to pay before the insurance will cover various parts of your bill. And what this is telling us is that this insurance company will cover 60% of the cost of x-rays. Now, if you're familiar with insurance, you'll understand that each item, each different type of service you might receive from a medical professional is covered at a different rate. So for x-rays, this policy is going to cover 60%. And then the first insurance claims for a specific year are for 2 x-rays, and it looks like they cost $700 and $970. So the question is, how much in total will they need to pay? So you want to make sure that you're working towards that question and actually answering that question by the end of the work that you do. So how much in total will they need to pay? Let me show you how I worked this one out. I started by thinking through Polya's problem-solving steps, understand the problem, plan, carry out the plan, and look back. To understand this question, I had to get a little bit of background knowledge on how insurance companies work. You might already have that background information just from personal experience, or maybe you needed to talk to someone to get more information about how insurance works. But to understand this problem, I need to understand that I have to pay the deductible first, and then I'm going to pay my portion of the remaining balance. So my plan is going to be to calculate the total cost and then see what the balance is after the deductible is paid. And then the last step is going to be to think through, well, after I pay a deductible, what part am I required to pay if the insurance is going to cover 60%? And then I can add the deductible that I paid together with the remainder of that balance that I have to pay to get a total. Well, let me show you how I worked through this. And I hope that you notice the color coding, and maybe that will help. I started with the total cost. I added up the $700 and the $970, which I have highlighted in blue. I added those up to get the total cost of $1,670. Now, that's not the total cost I pay. That's just the total cost that the healthcare provider is going to collect. And then in green, I've highlighted the deductible amount, which is $350. And then I had to do a little bit of critical thinking with the 60%. If the policy is going to cover 60%, since the question is saying how much do I need to pay, I've got to figure out what portion of the balance is going to be my responsibility. And you can see that in pink here, that if the insurance is going to cover 60, then I've got to cover 40% of the balance. So all I need to do is take the total cost, $1,670, subtract the deductible of $350, and that gives me a balance of $1,320. Of that $1,320, the insurance will cover 60%, and I'm going to cover 40%. When I multiply 0.4 times 1,320, I'm calculating 40% of 1,320. Of is always going to mean multiply. So I've got to convert the 40% to a 0.4, 4/10, times 1,320. And on my calculator, I got 528. So it looks like the amount due after this deductible is going to be $528. So all I need to do is add the 350 to the 528 to get 878. And then I could say, therefore, I'm using this math symbol for therefore, the 3 dots in the shape of a triangle. Therefore, the total you will pay is $878. I hope that you found this short tutorial helpful. If you do have questions still, please ask. Let me know. Even though you've seen this video, maybe there's a different part of the question that you didn't understand, so please feel free to contact me if there's anything else you'd like more clarification on.